Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, welcome to our another brand new episode from Learning with IGP. Dear participants, dear learners, dear teachers, and all the viewers who are watching from different places and time zones, welcome. Welcome to our Institution of Global Professionals International Free Webinar. And thank you for joining with us in this live session. And please stay with us till the end of our program. Yes, once again, I'm your host, Nasrin Nisha from Bangladesh, hosting this webinar.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to be associated with IGP as a member, as a global member. And I feel respected and privileged to host this webinar. And it's my delight to welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professionals International Free Webinar. So thank you once again for joining with us in this marvelous moment. So dear participants, please stay with us till the end of our program. It's my pleasure and request to all of you. And each time you can give a react and comment in our webinar. So don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends in our comment box. Yes, I'm sure that you all will have many takeaways and payoffs from this webinar. So dear participants, dear learners, let's learn together and grow together. Because we believe that power is gained by sharing knowledge, not holding it. So once again, I'm Nasreen, member in IGP. Welcome you all. Okay, so let's see our comment section first. And then we'll start our program step by step. Okay, first we have a question from Kate, how to get a certificate. So, Mr. Kate, you have to be with us till the end of our program. You have to uh, attend this webinar, and in the end session, we'll share the international webinar. Yes. Thank you, Sir Alexander Alvarez. Good afternoon, sir. We have Nam Izzy, Sir Jitrik. Good afternoon, sir. We have Nam Annalie. Hello, ma'am. Nam Charlene. Okay. We have Sir Kevin, Nam Evelyn Tivapuri, Nam Nili, Nam Isaiah. Yes, I think in Kenya it's morning. Good morning, ma'am. So, thank you, Ma'am Jessa, Ma'am Rebecca, Mr. Abdullah, okay, Ma'am Karen, Sir Sunday. Thank you everyone for joining with us in this live session. And please mention your friends in our comment box. At least 5 friends. At least your 5 friends mentioned in our comment box. Okay. So we can already see that we have many new participants here. So allow me to give a little concept about IGP. Institution of Global Professionals of Student and Community Resource providing holistic social work and education for a profession generation. IGP is leading an online skill development institute with thousands of learners worldwide. We make it able to use for every knowledge seeker to originate personality, more ambitious, make confident to face any circumstance, to develop their skills. We are entrusted with international recognition. And IGP is a non-profit international educational training institute. Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institution providing social work. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skills just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. We organized our webinar, online offline courses by best and brain speakers and coaches from all over the world to create a best learning platform for all of you. Yes, and our mission is to empower people, our youth and infants. And dear participants, we have already completed over 629 webinars in this morning session. And today I'm presenting webinar number 630. The topic is integration of technology in the teaching learning process. Yes, it's a very interesting topic nowadays. And we will learn today a lot. So, dear participants, let's start our program with IGP's mantra or slogan that is feed your skills. And you can also comment in our comment box with hashtag feed your skills, hashtag IGP. Okay, so let's welcome our vulnerable speaker from Philippines, Sir Marble John and Villanova. Yes.
Yes,
How are you,
hello.
sir? Good afternoon,
I'm.
sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Can everyone hear me? Okay, that's great.
Yes. So, so great to see you, sir. So you can start your presentation.
Okay. Let me share my screen to
Yes, sir.
everyone. One moment, please. Okay. Can you see my screen now
Yes,
and my
sir.
slides? Okay. So, um, so good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to each and every one of you watching here today. Also, thank you, IGP, for the opportunity you have given me to be one of your resource speaker. It has been a great opportunity to be part of your wonderful full of speakers. So, also, I would like to thank the people who are supporting me today, my co-teachers and also my friends from our college university. So I do hope we could learn what I am what I am teaching for today. Okay, so I'll start now with my seminar proper. So the topic is the integration of technology in the teaching learning process. So as we all know, since ever since the pandemic started, we all bound to use what we call the educational technology. So all of us are very familiar with the educational technology since all of us are taking this course when we are in the college. So aside from this one, we all know that when we mean to say by educational technology, it is the practice of introducing IT tools into the classroom to create a more engaging, inclusive, and individualized learning experience. Meaning to say, we are just not teaching and integrating technology, but we should be careful on how we could incorporate the teaching learning process, on how the students could learn, especially when we use the technology, specifically technology now is part of our daily lives. So I hope this webinar will help us more to be more familiarized with the different theories and we would know the appropriate techniques and tools that we could emanate and incorporate with the different tools that we can use with our teaching learning experience. So next, when we mean to say by integration of technology, in education, it simply refers to the use of technology to enhance the student learning experience. I hope all of you are familiar with the word gamification. If you're not familiar with the gamification, it actually states that gamification, you are incorporating a mobile game when you teach. Because nowadays, as we all know, students are very inclined with playing games, for example, Mobile Legends. Now, it's up to us, the facilitator of learning, on how we could incorporate the technology. So, one of the best techniques I could give with you in integrating the technology is the use of gamification. So when we use gamification, it simply means that we're designing our own game, but at the same time, the student is learning. So also, we could use different applications. We could use different classroom management application for us to integrate technology. So the key is we need to be engaged with the learners. We have to be careful with their environment. How can we boost their learning outcomes? And also, how can we apply the 21st century skills and learning? So, as we all know, we have three major domains of the 21st century education, which is the 21st century education comes with the learning skills, the life skills, and literacy skills. Meaning to say, we have to teach them critical thinking skills, collaboration, initiative, social skills. And that way, they will be prepared for their future on becoming a globally competitive citizen. Now, through the integration of technology, since we need to eradicate the traditional type of learning setup, we then introduce to use different applications towards our teaching learning experience. Such as, for example, we tend to use Google Forms. Also, we are using different applications in Google apps, for example, Google Meet Tracker or sometimes Zoom Tracker or any classroom management tools that we can use as long as the technology is involved with it. Because I know most of us are very familiar with the traditional, we're very familiar with pass the papers forward, seating arrangement, or similar to that. So now, next, as we all know, we have the different types of educational technology. So I'm going to discuss the three major important types of educational technology. First is the synchronous and asynchronous, and I know all of us are very familiar with these terms. Second is the linear learning. Third is the collaborative learning. So first, we'll start with the synchronous and asynchronous. So what we mean to say by the synchronous learning, as the name means, it refers to discussing thoughts or information real time simultaneously. Some of us are using learning management system. It's like having a learning hub, and where and the students are away from, that's what we call distant learning. So instead of face-to-face discussion, then we have some virtual classroom or chat rooms for us to facilitate the learning. That's why it's very important and significant to have learning management system, and we need to know the importance of using its different usage and appropriateness. We could not just use different kinds of technology because we want to, but simply we should use different kinds of technology because it is integrated, it is leveraging with the industry 4.0. So that's with the synchronous learning. Now, with the asynchronous learning, it means not in real time. So technically and obviously, sometimes it is pre-recorded videos, and we're the one who give instructions to the students. Hey, you could go and watch the lesson video, for example, the at TV, or even pre-recorded discussion and conferences. So in that way, student can learn in their own pace and time, which is very trendy nowadays. So I hope um um this synchronous and asynchronous is clear with everyone. Now, since we're now preparing on the upcoming school year, I don't know what the different countries if it's already their vacation, but here in the Philippines it's actually vacation. But on the upcoming school year, some of the schools, specifically private schools, are preparing to transition into a new modality or new mode of setup, which is the hybrid and high flex. Now, um, what is the difference between hybrid and HyFlex, and how can we use it as part of the teaching and integrating the learning process? So, with the difference between the synchronous and asynchronous, when it comes to hybrid, it combines face-to-face synchronous instruction. So, just like what the picture depicts in this one, so learning can happen face-to-face, and also learning can happen even if the child is in their home. So, with the hybrid setup, they can choose to go to school or even go to their home. So meaning to say they're just combining synchronous and asynchronous, but blending with a limited phase up. Because um, we have to um, we have to be we have to be careful with the pace of online learning simply because um, we cannot know if the student is learning inside with their homes or not. Now, with the high flex, it combines with the hybrid and the flexibility. So what is the difference between the high flex? So high flex from the word itself flexibility, meaning to say you're not just offering synchronous and asynchronous, but you can also offer um, different modules, different modality. But with the hybrid, it's just limited to synchronous and asynchronous. But when we talk about the high flex, meaning to say you're offering different flexibility. So remember, the phase or the uh, preferred choice of the student must come first with the high flex rather than with the hybrid. So it called hybrid because it's just like in Harvard or Oxford. Some students are in face person learning, but some are in the virtual setup. So that can be combined. That's why it's called hybrid. But if the students prefer another mode of modality, then we'll be calling it HyFlex. Next, we have the linear learning. So linear learning is a second number in the educational technology types because it's all about the computer-based training. So before, when we are used with the traditional setup, the linear learning is not very familiar. We're not very familiar with the linear learning, but nowadays, mostly different agencies design to take some type of exams with a computer base. For example, Google designed Google Form, Microsoft designed forms to answer different kinds of assessment. So sometimes there are also laptop designed. For example, Google Chromebook laptop. They are designed to hinder students from opening different browsers. So aside from that, also, there are programs that can be provided with the learners. For example, I've seen a virtual book wherein the storyboard is already presented. It can be read, it can also be navigated. It's like navigating with a learning hub in the business process outsourcing, wherein before you could proceed with the next lesson, you have to complete a certain stage. But eliminating certain kinds of teaching. That's what we call linear learning. Now, for the third part, we have the collaborative learning. So, collaboration means you have to work with another person or group to achieve something. Now, there are several collaboration tools that is introduced. Specifically, nowadays, the trend is doing research, um, doing comparative analysis. So, with the collaborative learning approach, we could use tools, for example, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, wherein we can share the link with everyone, and then you could see everyone's work with there. You can see their timestamp on what is happening real time. So that's the best example I could give with collaborative learning. And in your institution, I'm going to ask a question. So, what kind of technological tools do you use in teaching? can actually I'm seeing comments. So what kind of tools do you use in teaching? I think there's the ladies statement. So okay, so I'll just give examples, especially with my own experience when I use different kind of technological tools. So usually since I'm teaching social sciences, I usually use interactive map. There's a map called World Map Quiz by QBiz. This app uh, can be used by students. They can know what is the capital and the ocean boundaries of the different countries. Also, I'm using Zoom, I'm using Skype, I'm using Google Meet, I'm using Excel, I'm using PowerPoint. I even use TikTok as a medium for technological to just to integrate EdTech. Oh yes, GeoGebra and someone says here they use hybrid, meaning to say they're just not using one, but rather they're using one or two different. So we have to remember one technological tool is not enough, but we should find alternative ways. There's a lot. For example, Mentimeter, Kahoot, quizzes, just like that. So now, yes, that's okay. So of course, we know how to use it, but how do we know if that is appropriate? So that's why I'm going to discuss with you the technological pedagogical content knowledge known as the TPAC model. So to give you an overview, TPAC model is a framework developed by Mishra and Kohler last 2006 in the Michigan State University, and it is one of the leading theories of EdTech integration. Actually, to be honest with you, this is one of the theories I use in my thesis. Because in my thesis, I'm going to develop a website for Asian studies. So it's one of the theories that I incorporated, and that way we could know what's the effectiveness of using educational technology. So also it encompasses all of the three components, the three main important components or the three main ingredients of the teaching learning process. So this will lead to an effective teaching and also how this could be incorporated. Now, with the TPAC model, it was actually presented into three Venn diagrams. So the first circle is what we call the technological knowledge or PK. Now, for the second circle, we have the content knowledge. The third circle is the pedagogical knowledge known as the PK. So these three circles correspond to the three main ingredients, which is the technological, the content, and the pedagogical. So second, um, on between that circle, since it is introduced as a Venn diagram, we need to combine the technological and content. So it will be called technological content knowledge. Now, in between the circle as well, on the lower side here, we have the pedagogical content knowledge or the PCK. And then here in between, we then combine the technological and the pedagogical. So it's called technological pedagogical knowledge or the TPK. So if you observe, the three main ingredient is combined with one another to form what we call the TPAC model. So now I'm going to explain what is definition of each content knowledge for us to better understand what is the context between and behind this TPAC model. So as what it implies when we need to say about the technological pedagogical knowledge, content knowledge, so it refers to the required integration of technology into the teaching of a teacher. So it is what we call the suite spot simply because we have to be interactive at the same time creative. Just like what I'm telling, it's not enough for us to know how to use the technology. All of us can know how to use technology. We were forced ever since the pandemic started. But how do we know if we're using the right technological tools? So that will be told in the context because you have to know what could be the impression of that specific technological tools with the student. Is it hard to learn or it's very hard to learn? Now, we have to be careful with the multiple interaction between the content, the technological, pedagogical, and the contextual. Meaning to say, if we're teaching with our subject matter, meaning to say, if I'm going to teach Asian history, is it appropriate to use spelling or not? Just like that. So next, this TPAC model consists of understanding and communicating. So we have different kinds of educational concepts. We have different teaching philosophies. We have different teaching styles. But it's our own uniqueness that drives the learning of the students. You cannot be a great teacher without with without knowing and having a heart to teach. It's not enough that you master with a lesson, but it's how you touch the heart of the students. That's what it matters. So communication is important and understanding. We have to understand that every student is multicultural and diverse. So meaning to say, how can we instill the knowledge? We have to remember that every student has limited capacity of learning. Every student has a short-term memory, but what the students will remember is something that is very unique. So when we incorporate technology and pedagogy, how can we be unique in the eyes of the student? So it's up to us. That's why we have this theory in order for us to adapt and communicate with the students. So we have to remember that not all students have the same wavelength of knowledge. We have what we call the multiple intelligence theory. We have the verbal linguistic, the naturalistic, but how could we apply? As I might say, teachers has a very crucial role since because the teacher are very flexible. Teacher creates lesson plan. Teacher have to be have to have a good relationship with the student. Now, moving forward, on the first circle, we have what we call the technological knowledge. So, from the word itself, technological, it refers to the knowledge about various technologies ranging from low-tech technologies such as pencil and paper to digital technologies such as internet. Which means, to make the long story short, it is our partner like iPad, mobile phones, laptops. Like for example, webinar is very trendy nowadays. So what is our partner? We have our mobile phone. We have also our laptop. So it's the partner. It's the technological partner. Before, our technological partner, if we're teaching, is the whiteboard or even blackboard or chalk. But nowadays, since change is imminent, there is innovation. So there's a bit transition into the different industry. Now we have the partners like iPad, mobile phones, laptop. Sometimes they use stylus, especially with the mathematics teacher. Now, teachers' knowledge of and ability to use. So with the technological knowledge, we have to remember that we have different various technologies. We have different technological tools. But how could we infuse and instill the associated resources with the different tools we have? So, which means when we use the technological tools, it should be consist of understanding educational technology. It's not enough that you use different technology, but you have to identify possible uses. We have to remember not all learners have the same wavelength of learning. They are very different. And it's up to us on how we could help them. That's why we are here as teachers and facilitator of learning. Now, next, we have the content knowledge. So, as what coined by Mishra and Cowell last 2006, teachers must be able to know the content they are going to teach and how the nature of knowledge is different from various content areas. So, which means the content itself describes the subject matter you are teaching. We know the different concepts, we know the different theories, we know the different evidence, we know the organizational framework. Sometimes a facilitator of learning say, I mastered all of the topics. Yes, you mastered all of the topics, but do you think mastering all of the topics is enough in providing a great and excellent teaching learning encounter? So it's good that you mastered the subject. It's good that you know how to have a progressive approach with the subject, but we have to remember and cater the differences of the grade level. We have to know and profile each students that each student has their own capacity, has their own IQ and emotional quotient. So next, we have the pedagogical knowledge. So to make the long story short, it's all about our technique when we teach. It's all about the teacher's knowledge and ability of practices, processes, methods. Like for example, sometimes a student, a teacher will ask students to read and then they will explain. Well, some they provide different kinds of activity. They are providing different attacks and methods in order for them to learn. For example, math, there's different method with this one. In social science, sometimes the teacher teaches first the theories rather than helping them out with the geography side. So it's the teacher technique. So it encompasses educational aim or purpose, which answers how relevant the student learning styles. Like for us, for example, sometimes a individual person can learn while they're having a background music, while others learn if there is a quiet place. So also it incorporates classroom management and lesson planning. So it's not enough that we teach. It's not it's not enough that we know the content. Rather, we have to have our own guide in order for us to come up with a great outcome based and progressive teaching learning experience with our students. Now, if we're going to combine on the both of the three important domains, so first we have the technological content knowledge. Meaning to say, we are combining the technological tools at the same time your subject matter itself. It talks about the appropriateness of the edtech tools that will complement its subject matter. We have different subjects, then we have to know what could complement the subject matter. What's the effective technological tools we use? We have different websites, so we have to search and keep on improving ourselves. So next, we have the technological pedagogical knowledge. So with this time, it combines technology and the art of teaching we have. I remember when COVID-19 pandemic started, um, some of us are not very familiar with the automated banking or even the different conference app tools such as Zoom. So one person, for example, my mother asked me how I use this one. So I gave her instructions, but my mother said, it's not the way I was used to do. So we have to understand that there are different techniques as well. So that's why when we combine the technology, we have different ways. For example, some of us likes to open this website on this browser. Some of us, when teaching, we don't use PowerPoint, we use Canva. But the essence and the and the way we like to do is still the same, meaning to say it is contextual, meaning to say also it is supported with the technological pedagogical. Now, next we have the pedagogical content knowledge, meaning to say you're combining the art and your mastery with the subject matter. So it was actually introduced by Schulman last 1986, but when the definition speaks itself, it refers to the style on how the teacher is going to introduce his or her subject matter. So it's the uniqueness of the teacher on how he or she delivers the lesson itself. That's the gist of the now. Um, this is the model itself. So remember at the center we have the TPAC model. On the first circle here we have the TK. It refers to the technology we are using. Then content knowledge, it refers to the subject matter. Then PK, it refers to the what we call the art of teaching. Now, if we combine this one, which means we're combining the technology and the subject matter itself, then we're combining the art and the subject matter itself, and then we're combining the technology and how are we going to introduce that specific technological. Now, for the last topic that I'm going to discuss, it's what we call the sections model by Bates last 2015. So it is abbreviated with the word sections. So S stands for students, E for ease of use, C for cost, P for teaching functions, I for interactions, O for organizational issues, N for networking, then S for security and privacy. So what is the implication of having this sections model? So the implication of having sections model is we're not just teaching because we like to teach, but rather we have to look on the different aspects. For example, the students. If we're going to use this certain technological schools, can they access technology or could your learning or teaching styles can be accepted by this specific student? Then for the ease of use, do you think that specific technological tools is reliable or easy to use or very time bounded one or or is it not? Because if it's not, then we should find alternative ways. Then for the cost, how much does technology cost to design? So sometimes there are applications which is very costly, but um, if we put our shoes with the students, do you think it will be beneficial to them if they pay that, or maybe we could find another one? Now, for the teaching functions, what do you think is the educational affordances of this medium? Will it be good for the teaching? Will it be good for everyone's sake, especially in the academic industry? Do you think it will be used not just for a single year or more than a years? We have to consider also its financial capabilities of the institution we are employing. Some schools are not very privileged on having different smart TVs, computers. So we have to consider that factors. Now, interaction. If we use this certain kind of website, do you think um, a communication is evident between the learners? Or are you just the one who provides the sole information? Now, for the organizational issues, do you think this institution will support technology just like with the learning management system? There are different kinds of learning management system, but do you think this learning management system can sustain the financial, organizational aspects of having this specific technology since it's part of the edtech? Now, with the networking, do you think this medium provides better opportunity or does it consume too much bandwidth? Or if the students does not have any internet connect connection, do you think that specific website that you provided or technological tools that you provided um, can be cost efficient? Now, last is the security and the privacy. Do you think is it safe or are we opening a corrupted website or website that is not good? So that's sections model. So meaning to say this is the consideration we have to take in order for us to use different technological tools. So just remember the word sections and then um, you're going to get on the appropriateness of using that specific technological tools. Now, before I end with my topic, I'm going to leave you with this quote. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change, according to Charles Darwin. So it is coined on the natural selection, meaning to say, change is permanent, and it's up to us, human beings, on how we could adapt every change that is happening. It's up to us on how we could innovate, on how could we live and survive as a person. Now that's all for my topic and thank you. I do believe there's a different um different pace for the question and answer. So I'm going to ask your questions after I think you take the quiz.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing your valuable presentation with our participants and your knowledge. So, thank you once again, and we'll come back with you in our Q&A session after the quiz competition. So, please stay with us, sir. Okay, so it's time for quiz. Your participants get ready for our quiz competition. So before going to quiz, don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends in our comment box. Okay, so after the short video, we'll start our quiz. And today, top 10 will be awarded with quiz completion certificates. Okay. hello everyone in our quiz competition session. So this is one of the most highlighting and exciting part of our live session. So right now we have 42 participants who have already joined in this quiz, and I've already shared in our comment box the joining link. So you can find the joining link in our comment box. And today's quiz code is IGK quiz, and the code is already flashed on our screen. You can also scan the QR code that is flashed on our screen. So this is one of the first link to join. So everyone, before joining, use your full name as it will be printed in the winner quiz certificates. And we have right now 49 participants here. And after the quiz, we proceed to our Q&A session with our speakers. So also get ready with your questions or any kind of query on today's topic. And yes, and after the QA, we proceed to our certification process. So to get your international webinar certificate, we have to wait till the end because we'll share the code there. Okay, so here is now 55 participants in this live quiz competition. Yes, we have Nam Kathleen, Nam Jacqueline Basov, Sir Michael, okay, Sir Jerry, Nam Carmela Behane, Sir Ron Guena, Sir Rubel A. Ganadan, Nam Kiefer Rivera, Sir Nicodine Esmiro, we have Ma'am Sarah, Ma'am, okay, Sir Arvelin Joy P. Tubic, yes, Ma'am B. Babe, Sir John Kenneth Siguel, we have Ma'am Chickpea Dorothy, Ma'am Janeline Burha, and we have right now 68 participants. Yes, we have Ma'am Leah Fonla, Sir Kevin D, Sir Marisol Bravo, Ma'am Jenny Lynn, Sir Rina, okay, um, Sir Melin Bigoyas, Ma'am Sonam Yangchen, Sir Marisol Bravo, Ma'am Ira, Sir Danica, Ma'am Sarah, and we have right now 72 participants here. And it's my expectation to our participants that one day we'll cross 500 participants in our quiz. So let's see. Yes, and right now we have 72 participants here. How to join? Yes, you have already joined. I think you can see the joining link in the comment box, or you can browse uh, Chrome, Google. So also you can download the apps that last night our hosts share about this. That if you download the Slido app, so it will be very easy to access the join in quiz session. Good afternoon, Ma'am Sheila. Please join in our quiz. Yes, Ma'am Annalie, join in our quiz session because we'll start the program within a minute. And right now we have 74 participants here. So within a minute, we'll start the live quiz competition. Okay, so dear participants, we're starting our live quiz session right now. So get ready, everyone. So here is our first question. The question is, what type of technology can you use in math? Option number one, graphing calculator. Option number two, text. And the time is up. So let's see the right answer. Here is our correct answer. That is graphing calculator. 98% of our participants get the correct answer. So let's see our leaderboard. Yes, we have Sir Nicodemus Miro leading on top in this round, following Charlene Kelohamaguchi, following Solomon Yanchin, we have Jessa Apostadero, and Jameline Rivera. So congratulations, those answered correctly. So let's see our next question, question number 2. Intelligence is the faculty of reasoning and integration of knowledge or manipulation. You have last 7 seconds left to choose your option. Okay, so the time is up. And the right answer is knowledge. 97% of our participants chose the right answer. So congratulations, those answered correctly. Let's see our leaderboard. Alright, so here is our leaderboard winner's name. We have Nachaling Kelohormaguchi leading on top in this round, following them Sonam Yanchin, Sir Nicodemus Miro, Ma'am Quindiniana Generosini. Am I right, ma'am? Okay, we have Ma'am Jessa Apostadero. Okay, so congratulations once again. Let's see the next question, question number 3. The integration of telephony and data technologies, presence or convergence? Okay. Okay, so 10% choose presence, and 90% choose convergence. And 90% of our participants got the correct answer. Congratulations. So we have again Sir Nicodemus Miro, spot on first position, following Ma'am Kiridiniana Janarasindi, second place, following Ma'am Charlene Hamaguchi, third place, Ma'am Jessa Apostadero, fourth place, and finally Sir Grace Sirap. Okay. So let's see the next question. Question number 4. What is horizontal integration? Option number 1, same companies that sell different products join together. Option number 2, different companies that sell similar products join together. So 46% chose option number 1 and 54% chose option number 2. So Slido, please show us the right answer. Yes, and 54% of our participants got the correct answer. Alright, so we have some Nicodemus Miro again, placed first in our leaderboard, following some Michelle Gigesser, Ma'am Jacqueline Abassa, Sir Grace Sirato, and Ma'am Charlene Kalamaguchi. Okay, so let's see the next question. Question number 5. What is assistive technology? Option number 1 is school program that only helps teachers. Or option number 2, products, equipment, and systems that enhance learning and working. And the right answer is option number 2, products, equipment, and systems that enhance learning and working, and 96% of participants chose the correct answer. And still we have Sir Nicodemus Miro placed first position. Okay, we have them. Sir Michel G. Gelser, Ma'am Jacqueline Bassa, Sir Rianjun Piqueling, and Ma'am Sonam Yanchin. Okay, so let's see the next question. Question number 6. The integration of science, technology, engineering, and math in teaching and learning. So which option it belongs? Option number 1, STEM, or option number 2, state of the earth? And the right answer is option number 1. 99% of our participants chose the correct answer. Okay, so here is our leaderboard name. We have Sir Michel G. Gesser leading on top, Sir Nicodemus Miro, then we have Ma'am Jacqueline Abassa, Ma'am Shonam Yangchen, and Sir Rianjun Piqueling. So congratulations again, everyone. Moving to next question, question number 7. How technology is integrated in the teaching learning process? Option number 1, introduce, reinforce, supplement, and extend skills. Option number 2, accessing Facebook account. Okay, so the right answer is option number 1. Again, 99% of our participants got the correct answer. Yes. So we have again Sir Michel G. Gesser, following Sir Nicoden Espiro. We have Ma'am Shona Mianchin, Ma'am Jacqueline Abessa, and Sir Rin Jun. So let's see the next question. A model created for teachers to ensure efficiency of integration of technology in education? Option number one, tech pact, or option number two, tip. So the right answer is tip, and 20% of our participants got the correct answer. Yes, and we have right now Nam Chonam Yangchen leading on top in this round. Following Nam Jama bin Lada, following Sir John Kinney sequel. Okay, we have Alexander Bassa and Sir JBA Persio. Okay, so congratulations, those answered correctly. Moving to next question, question number 9. Okay, it's true false. Technology used in synonymous with technology integration. So option number one, true, and option number two is false. The time is up, and the right answer is false. And only 13% of the participants answered correctly. Okay, so we have right now Serene Jun Picolin leading on first position in this round. Then we have Namsona Miyanchen following Namjama Ben we have Nicodine Miro and Nam Charlie and finally. So congratulations again, those answered correctly. It's a hard question. Question number 8 and 9. Yes. So we have lost one more question. Are you ready to answer it? Let's see. The integration of nursing with information and communication technology is electronic health record, or option number 2, nursing informatics. Yes, and you have only lost 2 seconds. Oh, okay. So 51% choose option number 1 and 49% choose option number 2. And the right answer is option number 2, that is nursing informatics. 49% of our participants got the correct answer. Yes. So let's see on leaderboard. Congratulations, Mom Charlie and Ellen Infante. She's leading on top. Okay, we have Sonico Dennis Miro plus second. We have Namsona Mianchin plays third, Sir John Kinney Goyle plays fourth, Sir JBA Parasia plays fifth. So congratulations to top 5. Let's see the next winner's name. Yes. We have Sir Ma'am Eva Dela Cruz plays 6, Sir Ian Jun Piccoli plays 7, Sir Michelle G. Gesser plays 8, Ma'am Jama Benalada plays 9, and finally, last but not least, that is Ma'am Christina Vigan Rosario. Okay, so congratulations to our top 10 winners. Yes. Okay, so once again, congratulations to our top 10 quiz winners. Okay, so dear winners, you'll get your winner certificates from our Facebook official page. So visit our Facebook official page after the program. It will post it. Yes. So now we are moving to our next session, that is Q&A with our honorable speaker. So get ready with your question, with your query that you want to know from our speakers. Okay. So after this short video, we'll come back with our honorable speaker. And dear participants, dear learners, don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends in our comment box. So once again, welcome, sir, in our Q session. Great to see you, sir.
Hello.
And hello, sir. So, dear
Hello.
participants, dear teachers, dear learners, dear knowledge seeker, write down your question or any kind of query in our comment box. Yes, and here is our first question from Marco. How are you going to integrate technology to students who do not have enough resource and strong internet connection? It's
Uh,
a common problem.
yeah, it's so hard. No worries. I can answer this one. So, with your questions, actually, we're just not very limited to providing and having internet connection in integrating technology with the students who cannot reach a strong internet connection. We can then provide them with, for example, linear learning. Um, just like in different institution, they do provide something like interactive book wherein there is no need for them to access internet connection. So they can learn by simply browsing, simply um, reading the specific content. So in that way, we're just not limited on having internet connection, but rather we're having possible different resources in order for us to integrate technology with the students who hasn't have enough strong internet connection. Yeah, that's my
Thank you,
answer.
sir. Thank you, sir. So here's our next question. It's from Faiga Beg. Okay, are there any new digital tools that than the ones we started off at the beginning of the pandemic? Easy to use. She also include also not every school is equipped with digital tools.
Also, that's very yes. Okay, yes. That's why I mentioned the sections model because we have to be careful enough and know the teacher's readiness and their professional development as well, specifically with the space, infrastructure, and the toolkit. So, um, since your first questions are with what are examples of digital schools, well, the best that I can recommend is utilizing Google Workspace. So Google Workspace is free. Then plus you'll be given 15 gigabyte or Google Drive. Then there's tons of Google Workspace applications there like Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Word, Excels. There's also pen-like tool that you can use and utilize in coloring. For for example, you like to color something or provide something. So it's one of the easy. Also Kahoot, quizzes, WordWall, Padlet. It's one of the easy to use and easy to navigate tools. Now with the equipment of the digital school, since not all are very fortunate on having a good tools in conducting classes for hybrid and HyFlex, I guess it's time now to with the administration institution to be enlightened because cannot we cannot integrate industry 4.0 if we're the one who's lacking behind with the different sets of technology. So since technology is very easy and change is permanent now, I hope this could be an eye opener, and I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, sir. So here's next question from Manjuri Krishna. So how do we ensure the integrity of the students' assessment, especially with remote learning?
Yes. Actually, that's a good question. How could we question the integrity of every student? Since students are most of the time in their home, actually, for me as a teacher and as a professor in college, it's very hard to measure the integrity of the students. What we can do is to provide them an authentic assessment. So what are the examples of authentic assessment? So for example, if we're used in creating assessments like ABCD identification, then you have to think of ways in creating assessment that can be answerable in utilizing your highest order thinking skills. For example, if you're used to what is the definition of technology, then why not try to ask in your own words or create essay, how do you think technology is important in your life? And that way you can eradicate and say the importance and their point of view. And that way, you'll be providing authentic assessment. And it's a very win-win situation with both you and your student. So that's the answer with your question.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Mr. Sir Abdullah. Okay, how do we make technology integrated with learning?
Okay, how do we make technology integrated with learning? First, so we have to consider the students, the ease of use, the cost, and its teaching functions. So we have to consider that we're just not using technology because we want to use, but rather we should impose and integrate them with our learning plan. Also with our outcome-based education learning exemplar. So in that way, we're just not teaching them how to use a specific technology, but rather we're delivering efficient and proficient teaching learning encounter with the students. Remember, the students will not remember on how you master the lesson, but they will remember you on how good you are to them. It's just simply building rapport to the students and putting your shoes to the students. Because we all know we've become a student before, but on a different scenario. So nowadays, experience anxiety, depression. So how could we help them? And that is one of the reason why the students loves you, or the students finds you every time, because it's how you show and be good to them. That's the answer to your question.
Okay, so we have a question from Maylene. Uh, I didn't catch the question that she wants to mean, but I'm sharing it too. I'm a bit confused from the quiz items a while ago. Is the use of technology not an integration to the subject being taught? Please elaborate. Oh, thank you.
Uh, Actually, I'm confused as well. I I'm a bit surprised on the set of questions. I'm checking on the notes that I've sent with the organizers as well. But I think there's some mistake with this one. So I think the organizers and I should clarify this one. But uh, as well as me, I was surprised with the set of questions. Because supposed to be the set of questions that I've given is the TPAC, the integration of the educational technology. Sorry about that.
Okay, I got it now. Okay. Okay, so the next question is from Mary Joyce. Good day, sir. Marvel, what digital tools can you refer to us that will be useful in conducting more enjoyment and attract the attention of students?
Yes, it's a very
It's a
good
good
question
question. Yeah.
nowadays. Yes, because you really have to caught the attention of every student. Specifically, we are in a distance learning setup. So Kahoot is one of my best picks because it has sounds, it is very interactive. Mentimeter as well. So we're eliminating the traditional setup of raise your hand if you want to answer. But rather in Mentimeter, there's something like bubble thing. For example, you're going to ask question. How many of you know Jose Rizal? Just like that. Um there's a bubble, and then you'll see how it's very interactive. Also applying analytics as well. It's very helpful. Another is Kahoot quizzes and Padlet. It's
Mhm.
just integrating gamification. Gamification is the term EdTech uses in, for example, creating a game that has a touch of learning to the side of the students. But um if you're finding a free website like Kahoot, um, Mentimeter, um, tablet, and that's the one that is best to caught the attention of your students.
So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing all the answers to our participants and your knowledge, your precious time with us. So we are really honored to have you here, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So do you want to share any message to our participants?
So share message to our I don't know who among you are teachers, professors. If you're happen to be one of the teachers and professors, so you may press one. It's like an online class. Sorry, I'm used to it because I do like um collaboration. So my message is that never give up. Never give up. Just do whatever you want, especially if you're a teacher, a student, or a future educator as well. You can be great in your own way and find something to be happy. Remember, happiness is the key to everyone's success. Do not stress yourself with that specific problem, but rather find something that will eliminate those stress. Maybe that's the reason why I enjoy teaching because teaching is very stressful, but I always find time to be happy, be creative, and to devote myself. Passion is the key, and dedication is my point of view. So for everyone out here who's having trouble with technology, so just never stop learning. I do myself if I'm going to share my experience. Uh, I'm afraid with numbers, but I was given a chance by Department of Science and Technology to be one of the scholars for data analytics, and I was able to graduate. So facing your fears and conquer could embrace your happiness. So that's all.
Thank you, sir. And already, Ma'am Jury Krishna pressed one. Okay. Thank you, sir. Have a
Thank
great day,
you.
sir. Yes, so dear participants, enjoy this short video, and after the video, we'll share our certification process. Yes, and now we are in our certification process. Dear participants, the program name is Integration of Technology in the Teaching Learning Process. And the code is IGP0173. Let me tell you once again, the code is IGP0173, and without this code, no one is eligible for certificates. And with code, you can claim your certificates anytime. So you can also visit our website. Our website address is www.eduigp.com. So visit our website and get your certificates, and don't forget to celebrate with IGP. Once again, thank you everyone for still staying with us in this live webinar. Yes, and dear participants, dear quiz winners, you'll get your winner certificates at the program from our Facebook official page. So don't forget to collect it. So once again, and thank you to all of our participants, viewers, learners, teachers for your participation and your cooperation. Okay, I'm inviting all of you to our tonight program. So don't miss it. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself. I'm signing off right now. Myself, Nasreen, and I'm from Bangladesh. So please stay with IGP and keep learning. That our speaker said, never stop learning. Okay. Thank you.